All right, how's it going, everybody? My name is Sean Gorey, and after watching the film, it follows centers on a teenager named Jay who, after a sexual encounter with her boyfriend, learns that she is now the target of a supernatural entity. This entity can take the form of any person, familiar or stranger, and will slowly walk toward her relentlessly. The curse can only be passed on by having sex with another person, transferring the entity's attention to them, and can only be temporarily escaped by passing the curse to another person through sex. However, if the new target is killed, the curse returns to the previous person in the chain. Set in a timeless chain, pretty much. Mitchell's film resists that judgmental framing. Instead of moralizing, it presents sex as a human act that carries emotional and extensional consequences. The curse is not a punishment for sex, but a metaphor for the responsibilities, fears, and traumas that often accompany sexual maturity. The most immediate interpretation is the metaphor of sexually transmitted diseases, also known as STDs. The film never really gave an answer of what it is, but the basic thing we can base it off of is STD. It is something that follows you from person to person. The idea of the curse being passed through sex clearly aligns with this, as if there were consequences for their actions. The film can also be seen as a commentary on adolescence, of growing up and losing innocence, growing up in that sense. Jay and her friend were put through a lot of trauma, fear in the world, and danger, forcing them to deal with adult activities at a young age. And some critics may read it as a metaphor for emotional trauma, and the irreversible weight that sex can carry on you as a young adult, because having sex at that young age, you never know what can happen. Obviously, watching this film, you see what it can bring you of having sex at a young age, maybe not with the right person, maybe not at the right time. But in conclusion, David Robert Mitchell crafts a story that uses supernatural horror to speak on real life anxieties, the weight of sexual responsibility, the fear of growing up, and the certainty of death that sex can follow you with. With that being said, this is not a film that I will watch personally again. I did enjoy it for the time being that we had to watch it, but this is not a film that I'll watch again. So